Once you have completed the tessellations for the Pegasus and the triangle, it's time now to explore other ways to tessellate so that you can create your own tessellation, which is the last project in this unit. First, I will take you into, let's visit Blackboard, and in the tessellation assignments folder, there's the tessellation exercises, links, and Dropbox. And below the triangle exercise, you will see the tessellations.org folder link, and then click on this. In this website, go to Make Your Own, How to Make a Tessellation, and I'd like you to study starting with the line and flipping method. Proceed down the list so that you can get an idea as to what to explore, what to learn in order to create your own. I wanted to point out one that has been very successful for students in the past is the circle method. In the circle method, it gives you a step-by-step procedure in order to create a tessellation where you have a form at the outside of the circle, and then it gradually scales smaller towards the inside part of the circle. You start with this by mapping out a circle with diameters marked every 45 degrees. In order to show you how to do this, let's go back to Illustrator, and here is your where we left off with the triangle tessellation. I'm just going to select this and delete it. For this demonstration, I just want to use the line segment tool. Start here, hold the Shift key down, and draw a straight line down. Go to the selection tool, the black arrow, go to Object, Transform, Rotate, and type 45 degrees, and you'll notice if you uncheck the preview and check it again, it shows you that the resulting line will be at 45 degrees to the original line. Then hit Copy. Then, as we did before, Command D and D. So this gives you the basic system, the structure, onto which you would tessellate to create a radial circular tessellation. Now let's go back to Blackboard, and here is the beginning of the instructions for the concentric rings. And let's go back now to the original folder. Another link I would like you to visit is the Tessellation Project PDF. Incidentally, anytime you see an item in blue, it's something that should be studied, should be looked at, and it is a document, it is a file. Going up to tessellations.org, this is a website. Websites cannot be color-coded. So whenever you see this icon, that indicates it's a site that you should visit for a particular project. Now the Tessellation Project PDF, I've shown you here. Disregard the first few pages, and we'll go down to the beginning right here. It says Tessellation on page 4. It tells you about Translation Tessellation Easy Template. This is very much in the same context as our Pegasus, and this just gives you another example of how to create a tessellating form based on a geometric form, in this case a square. And this one gives you a little bit more difficult way to do it, but it's another example of how to create your own tessellation. continuing on, there is another handout, and this is an older one, but this one is a PDF showing you explains about the basics of tessellation. And here it gives you some tips about it. And as you go down to here, there is an interesting process in order to create birds that rotate. And you will notice if you look at Escher's work that you will see the birds rotating, and the negative space will be another form as well. But this is another one I wanted to point out to you. Let's go back to the folder. One other thing I neglected to show you while we were there, in the Tessellation Project PDF, back down on page 6, there you go, shows examples of Escher's work. And this is familiar to you. This was how we based our Pegasus. And as you can see, that's one method. And the negative space, of course, is the same form as the positive space. And here again are other examples of Escher's work employing the concept of tessellation. So let's go back to the beginning. And I've shown you the Tessellations.org website, the Tessellation Project PDF, and Tessellation Handouts, Methods Handout. Now, these are examples of the personal tessellation. This one shows the radial technique. As you can see here, the student took an actual photograph of himself and he tessellated it, and it gets from the largest image on the outside smaller and smaller as it goes towards the center of the circle, all based on the original 45 degrees, and actually this one was even fewer than 45 degrees. This one also is done the same way, showing an example of the radial. This one down here is another past student's tessellation using a hexagon to tessellate, and they embellished the inside of the hexagon to create their own personal tessellation. Now, down at the bottom of the folder, you see in red your own tessellation design assignment. Once you have completed your work, make sure you save the Illustrator document, and then go to File, Save a Copy, and make the copy an Adobe PDF. Then place it into this area right here, your own tessellation design assignment. Good luck.